Hey guys, you're probably watching this video because you want to learn how to make mad ass outlines like this and many others, as you can see. So it's actually not that hard, like it's literally not that hard. Okay, so here's how I'll go about it. These are my pen selections. There's dash, there's artistic, there's whatever. But mainly these are the three I use. These three, and then sometimes I use hairline for women. This hairline is just to make it more realistic. As for dash, I use them occasionally when whatever I have to draw have kind of patterns also. If not, I hardly use them. Yeah, for the ballpoint, let me just reduce this a bit. I just try my best to follow up on edges of the body and all that. I really just try my best to follow up. Now, I combine the pen tool, that's this ballpoint normally, with this pen here. So that's what actually helps things. Well, you have to be careful with this particular tool itself because you have to practice a lot on it and learn how to use it, because it's going to take a while for you to actually master, like just give yourself that kind of like sharp entry when you're drawing to make your lines look smart, and all that. It takes time. Can you see that? So it actually takes a lot of practice and a lot of time. As you saw earlier on, I was drawing anatomy. I was doing some anatomy drawings and all that. Those were stuff that I actually used to practice and all that. So you can try it out. Just download some anatomy, drawing it out, or download people's photos. I don't know. Just practice with it. For the pen tool, you should know that whenever you're drawing, if you notice, everything was bent just now, like they were bent just now, but as I tapped it, it kind of like became a curve from sharp edge to curve. So just one tap does that. Then at the beginning, you always have another node here. So it's left to you. Just know it's it's always there, no matter what you do. It's always there. Look at it here again. So it's always there. But that's not actually the issue. The thing is, if you're drawing with this pen stuff, to let's say you made a mistake here and you wanted to like take it this way, and you want to like delete this node here they have already introduced, you can either drag this node to a former node, or you take it to the one in front of it, or you take this one that is in front backwards, so it's just over it and to cancel. That's mainly the things about the pen, the ballpoint. That's mainly everything about ballpoint. There's no much, just practice enough and you get used to all this. I'm going to talk about resizing your lines, but for now let me just finish on all the pens so I don't get distracted. um okay, yeah, apart from this pen, the other thing actually mixed with my inks are this lazy here. Let me say I have to draw. I'm looking for something that's making me okay, like shoelaces, yeah, stuff like shoelace, or stuff like what am I going to, just basically something that has more curves and demand more time. Understand? If I'm using that pen too, so I just usually just use this lazy tool to just make things easy for myself, and to actually edit this lazy tool to make things easier for you. If you come here to settings, you see that it's on 50 pixels for the radius. The radius means if you look at my hand now, you're going to see that there's a white line. Just look at what I'm drawing. You see a white line after my tip, after that white bubble. I see that white line. If I increase it, You see that it's going to increase. Are you seeing that the line is longer now? Yes. So the line is longer because of what I pressed. If I reduce it, you will not even see the line. And this thing actually affects the speed of how you draw. Okay, let's say I want to draw this now. I could easily go like this, but you can see that it's kind of rough. But if I increase it, you can see that one is smoother than the other. So like I said, practice and get used to it. I use this lazy stuff and that pen too for any of them, any of the inks, but mostly I use only lazy. I use lazy majorly with my tapered ink anytime I'm working, then occasionally with my ballpoint ink. Okay, so the next ink here is lasso. I have tried my best to explain the lasso in previous videos, but I am just going to make this easier again. Try my best to make this easier. Explain. Okay, so first of all, let's go to display outlines. If you have using InfinDesign before, by now you would know what display outlines means. It shows you the edges and corners of your lines from the beginning here to the end. So this is midpoint of your line, as you can see there. So, but the display, the lasso ink itself works like this. Once you start drawing, it's like, how am I going to explain this now? Okay, it's like creating a cover, a cloth or something. I don't know. Look at it. This whole place is black. Like I said, it's covered. Once I do like this, like once I cover it, is black. I see it. Once I just go over, it's black. Now look at this. Okay, now let me redo that again using display outlines. If I come over like this and go sharply, you will know that okay, this part this part's already dark, isn't it? So coming again to create another dark part, I'm going over again. This parts are dark, these parts are dark, but here, this place here, there's nothing there. I don't. Okay, let me think. This, you're going to need stuff like this for your tattoos. Also need it for basic painting and all that, like basic painting before you start doing your shadows and all that. So let's just say I wanted to do like a shadow or something here, like just trying to follow where the shadow is following and it's close, stuff like that. So that's how it actually come in handy. I just hope I'm not drawing. Okay, so that's how it basically works. You have to practice with these two to actually get used to it. You just have to practice. There's no two ways about it. That's for the lasso tool. I use lazy tool with like almost every time with my lasso. So that's just to make it look like I think like that's just the way I use it. So I usually use it for shading. Yeah, I use ballpoint for outlines, major outlines. Now you have to be careful about something. I will explain that later. But for now, let me just finish this up. Like I said, major outlines. There are two types of outlines. In fact, there are three types of outlines. Three, yes. This is major outline. This is one outside body. Now this is the inner outline. This one here, this one, they are both inner outlines. Then we have your expressions. You use this tapered ink lines for expressions to show like to indicate squeeze on the body. If you want to indicate, okay, here's a squeeze, here's a squeeze, this is the way the cloth squeezed and all that, just to give it its depth and realism. That's what we use the tapered inks for. Then I said there are four. Okay, so this 1, 2, 3. Then the fourth one is things like this. I seen this watch here. I seen how this place is actually dark. made here dark. Now sometimes you cannot outline some things, you actually just can't outline some things, so you have to use like your lasso to just do a brief, like something really brief of what you think you're seeing there. Understand? Just to make it quick and just to make it sharp. So yeah, that's why I use stuff like that. And also use the lasso to the eyes. Just be like something like this. Just run it up like this. As you actually run it up. So that's about it for the lasso. So on to the next one. We have the tapered ink. Now this is one of the most familiar inks. In fact, this is one of my best ink out there because of how it actually helps in doing all these expressions and all that. Where I actually love it more is hair. I use it a lot for my hairs. What I just do is reduce the opacity of the ink and then just be like wow 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 blah blah blah. So that's how I actually use it for hair. So you can see that it's one of my favorites. In fact, it's my most favorite. I use it for beards, I use it for eyebrows, I use it sometimes for just little indications. I use it for the nose. Yes, you need these sharp edges, stuff like this, these sharp ends, these tapered ends. It's actually called tapered. It's tapered ends for things like the nose, for stuff like the eye, for the lip. You don't want your lines to be fat and bold like this. You don't want to have something like this in the lip. Just imagine having something like this. You can see how the fact that this place is sharp is just is a turn off. So that's what I usually use for. Then, like I said, I also use it with the lazy tool. I rarely use it with the pen. Yeah, I use it mostly with lazy. Then for the arc, sometimes just like that. So like I said earlier on, I'm going to tell you the basics of outlining. It's very important you understand this. Now let's say I had this drawing. Now this is the drawing I want to, this is what I want to draw, isn't it? This is the artwork, this is the person I want to draw. Now from the onset, from the get-go, I already know that everything can't be in one layer. Normally everything cannot be in one layer. Let me just turn this off real quick. Everything cannot be in one layer, isn't it? So you have to select things that are being some layers. Even on my outlines, I don't put my outlines in one layer, not to talk of my paintings and all that. So this is the drawing. I start with major outline. Like I told you before, this is the major outline. You can see it, just extreme ends of the photo, extreme ends. Sometimes I don't even go into the body because it's extreme ends, extreme end. Sometimes though I might come this way, I just come here, depends, but usually it's just extreme ends. Then after that, I told you about the inner outline. Now let's look for it. It's supposed to be around here. Okay, now this is the inner outline. You can see that I use the inner outline to complete every other thing I wanted to do. You can see it here. And then I did the expressions. You can see the fact that the expression actually gave it depth without even finishing the drawing, without even shading. Like you already have this depth. Just see the transformation. So this is already halfway done. Like this is literally already halfway done. Normally, once I do this expression really well, my shading doesn't give me stress again because I've already like directed where my shading parts are going to be like going along and all that. So then additionals, extras, then hair, um, stuffs on the face and all that. Now if you look at it, if you notice, I separated each type of pen separately. For my main outline, they are all ballpoints. That's one thing I want you to notice. My main outline, they are all ballpoints. So if I wanted to really edit it, if I just wanted to like work on the size real quick, I can easily work on the size without having to change the lasso and the taper, because it's actually different when you're working with tapered, like when you're trying to like change the size. Let me show you what I mean. This is tapered. Now if I increase just a little bit, you can see how thick it gets, like just immediately, and it can really get annoying. So to reduce stress on me and to make things easier, I just decide to put it in one layer totally. Understand? Then this is the inner outlines. So what I usually do is, your inner outlines must be smaller than your major outlines, and then your expression outlines must be even more smaller than your inner outlines. I just hope that makes sense. Let me try and explain this. Now this is the major outline, isn't it? This is the inner outline, and then the expression. Now let's work on this expression. It's too big. Oh, sorry. I see that it's actually almost the same size with these inner outlines, but I can leave it like this, but it's still too thick. I don't want it to be this thick. You have to know how to reduce it, because if it's too much, if it's too thick, and if the drawing is not like it's all black or something, it's going to look somehow. So you have to know how to manage it on your drawing. So now, without stressing, you can see each and every type of line outside here. You can just see everything here. So majorly that's how it works. I did a video on how to draw teeth, so go check that out. You can see this amazing teeth I did here. Then for something just a little extra, now if you want to make your line more appealing, more how am I going to say it now, more attractive, this is something you want to do. Gradient, go to the line, select it, then make here black, here same thing black, go to the middle, make it also black, come to this first place, reduce the opacity to 0, come to the second place, reduce the opacity to 0. You can see the way it blends like real quick. And if you shade this parts where the opacity is not that much, it's going to also blend with your shading, so it's going to look real awesome. And that's the major trick I used to make some of my artworks real sweet and real cool. But if you have something like this where there are so many expressions, you are not going to be able to finish it, because your phone might hang and all that. So anyways, that's majorly everything you need to know about ink for now. Thank you for watching.